Hi, in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about the macro that we created in the last session, and I'm going to make some improvements to it and explain a little bit about how the structure of the macro works. So one way to get to the Visual Basic Editor, which you saw last time, is you click on the Developer tab, so you get this Developer ribbon, and there's this Visual Basic button that appears here. If you click that, it goes to the Visual Basic Editor. Another way to do that is to go to the bottom of your screen here, and you can see that there are two windows, which is my spreadsheet here and the Visual Basic Editor there as well. So here is the macro that we did last time, and the first thing to say about it is that it starts with the word sub and it ends with the word endsub, and that means that the code in between is a block of code, as they call it, and there are other blocks of code as well. So you can see this with word here between where it says with and end with. That's another block of code, and that means that all of those lines relate to each other. And of course, all of these lines between sub and end sub, they all relate to each other because, of course, they are the sub routine, which is what sub stands for, or the macro. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you or point out to you is that this macro has been recorded by Excel, and there is a certain format to it which keeps it neat, and I want to point out to you how that works. And it's a good idea when you write a macro to use the same formatting that Excel uses, because it really helps to understand what's going on in the macro. You can see it more clearly. So you can see that the sub here at the top and the end sub are right hard up against the left of this editing pane, and the lines of code which are running down here. By the way, the macro, all it does is it starts at the top and runs all the way down to the bottom, running one line at a time. I guess that was obvious. You can actually, and we'll do this in later videos, you can run or you can create a loop in a macro so that it kind of runs down here and it jumps back earlier on and keeps going through a loop until something changes and it can get out of the loop. But obviously, in the end, all macros must reach the end sub so that they finish properly. Anyway, this line of code here is one tab length, or it's about 4 or 5 spaces indented from the edge, and you can see that all of these commands are underneath each other. Within this block, which is our with block, the start and the end of the with block are marked by these two pieces of text, the with and the end with, and in between the two they're all indented a second time, so you can see that they all run against each other, line up underneath each other as well, and we can see that all of those lines are to do with this block of code. So that's something about the formatting. Next thing I want to talk about is these statements which are in green. Now, the green statements are remarks, and they are there purely for the user's benefit, so that they can see what the writer of the macro has made as comments in case something goes wrong and the macro needs to be reviewed. There are some comments which help explain what the macro is all about. Now, you can create your own remark line by putting either REM at the beginning, or it's a more modern thing to do is just put this apostrophe or single inverted comma, whatever you want to call it. That way depends on who your English teacher was when you were in primary school. So there are 4 lines here with an apostrophe at the start, and they're all remarks, and you can tell that they're remarks because they go green. And what's happening with these lines is they're completely ignored by Excel when it runs this macro, so you can write what you like. So so one of the things we're going to do here is improve this macro. So in fact, I'm going to put my own remarks here to help me understand later on, if I come back to this macro, what it's trying to do. And what I was, in my sort of imagination, was trying to do was write a macro which typed my name and the date in any particular cell that I had selected when I caused the macro to run. So that's what I'm going to write here. So this is fantastic. macro there. So there we go. And as I type in there, you can see that my writing there has turned to green. That means that it will be ignored when it's run. And also notice that there's no check that this is okay. You can write anything you like. And so I've made a spelling mistake there, and Excel didn't correct it for me. I'm going to put a space in there just to look a bit better. Actually, the other thing I want to do about this macro is change the name. Now, the macro's name is macro1, rather unimaginatively, of course, because it was given that name by Excel. I'm going to change that to something else. What shall I call it? I'll call it type name and date. Okay, now I want to keep these videos nice and short, so I'm going to end there, and we'll look at the other lines in this macro in the next video.